Hey guys! Today's video I'm going to be doing my eyebrow routine, and I was kind of nervous about doing this because I don't feel like I have my eyebrow routine down pat as of yet, but for now I think I have my eyebrows pretty much the way I like them. Sometimes they don't look as good as they do other times. I'm not sure why, but I'm still kind of playing around with them and learning how to do them exactly how I like them. But in this tutorial I'm going to show you kind of how I get the shape, the look, how I maintain them, and what products I use. Pretty much just anything. Usually I speed through this or I just cut it out completely in my other tutorials, but I wanted to do an in-depth tutorial, something that you can refer back to if you want to learn how to get my eyebrows, or if you want to learn a couple tips and tricks on how to do your eyebrows. You can always refer back to this video. So without further ado, let's get started. This is the Sonia Kashuk gel eyeliner in Cocoa. It's the shade Cocoa, and I picked this up when Canada had Target, because Sonia Kashuk is exclusive to Target stores. So I picked this up then because I wanted to use this as a gel liner, as it is. I never thought to use it as a eyebrow product, but I noticed that the color is actually very nice for my hair. It matches my hair really well, and it's obviously matte because it's a gel liner. And I tried it once and I liked it. So before, I've used powders, I've used pencils. Powders I think is probably the most natural looking. If you're looking for a powder, a more natural eyebrow, definitely go for a powder. You'll get the results that you would desire with a powder. And a pencil is more for people who don't really have a lot of eyebrows and need to pencil in their little hairs and stuff and really define them. I have pretty good eyebrows. I mean, they're not super dark, but they're not sparse either, and they're just very light and not so defined. And this one is a little bit shorter than this one. So I do get my eyebrows waxed once a year, I would say, because they don't grow back crazy, and whatever does grow back, I could just tweeze it with some tweezers and that's it. Like, my eyebrow hairs aren't like super crazy or anything like that, which is why I like the gel, because the gel serves as like a 2-in-1 kind of thing. I don't use any wax over the hair or any brow gel on top either, anything like that. So it works out really good for me. It's more of a all-in-one kind of product. But there's definitely pomades and stuff like this that are actually meant for your brows. I had the Ardell one, I think it was. Ardell? Yeah, and that one worked really good for my eyebrows. So for the brush, I use this small angled brush. Of course, it's not going to focus. It's definitely very used and abused, so it's got a really crazy angle on it, and it actually works out perfect. I've used this for my eyebrows as long as I've had this. Even when I was using a pencil, I would use this brush to get the product off the pencil and then put that on my brows, just to give a more natural, defined look and just to have a little more control. So I already have my foundation on because I use my foundation as a primer under this pomade, gel liner, whatever you want to call it. I find that it adheres to my skin better when there's something underneath it. So I always do my makeup in this sort of transition. Like, I'll do my foundation, or like my skin, my foundation, and then my eyebrows. And then I'll do my eyes and then my face. So what I like to do is just grab my brush and just dip it in to the product like that. And just kind of coat the brush. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. Just coat the brush lightly. And then just go. Oh, and another thing I wanted to mention is a spoolie. Super important. Super, super important. Before I had this, I didn't use anything, and I noticed that my brow hairs were kind of crazy, even though, you know, they're not super crazy. They all do grow in the same direction. They stay flat, so like it's not a big deal. So I never really thought that I needed this, but it actually helps a lot. So, and I just got this in a kit of like 30 brushes or something for like $10 on Amazon. So it's super cheap, or you could just buy these alone, or you could buy little mascara wands. Those work too, or you can use an old mascara brush, just clean it off and then use that. Like, totally works. But honestly, this makes a huge difference. So I'm just gonna comb through my brows and then take my brush with the product on it, and I like to line underneath my brow first, like right here, just to define the shape. So I'll start off in the middle like this. Okay, so once you have this outer corner lined very lightly, nothing too precise or anything like that, you're just going to go into the inner corner a little bit and continue to draw that line. It's like that. Okay? And it may look a little harsh right now, but the spoolie does magic. So we're just going to continue with the same amount of product. There's still quite a bit of product in here. Just like that. And you're just going to brush it through and take it up. I like to flex my brows because I find that I can see a little bit better where I want the color to lay when I flex, because I see that my arch is right here, and then I can bring it down just like that. It's like that. And this brow is definitely my ugly brow. It's not as pretty as the other one, and this one definitely needs a lot more work. So I will leave it like that for now. And then I'll do this brow, and then I'll even it out on the side. Oh, and I didn't even tell you how I did the front. I'm horrible at this. So for the front here, I like my brow to be a little darker along this side and more on the outer corner. If I'm going a little bolder with my brows, I'll do it a little darker, but usually I'll just leave it like this because I find that it looks a little more natural. But in the front right here, what I do is I just take my brush with the angle like that, okay? And since this part of the brush, this point right here, doesn't have as much product on it as this part here, it's going to line up nicely right there and create that line. But since it doesn't have as much product, it's not going to be as harsh. And I just like run that right across just like that, very lightly. And then I'm going to take my spoolie and just brush through. And that's just going to help the product blend with all the little hairs and make it just look that much more natural. So again, I just loaded my brush up with some product, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So start off in the middle. Line the bottom all the way up to the top, or the front. Just like that. Alright, and as you can see, like, this brow is just so much more nicer. Like, I don't, like... And now I'm going to add a little bit more product, because this brow is just, like, completely different. Like... And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to fill it in. Starting off in the middle always, because wherever you place your brush first, that's where the product is going to be the most pigmented. And which way you blend it is going to fade as you blend. So I like to always go towards the outer corner. Like I said, that's where I want it to be the most dark. I just like to round off my arch, kind of flex my brow a little bit, then I can see where those arches are, and then just blend up. And see, as you can see, I kind of went up a little too high, but I'm going to show you how I fix that whenever I do something like that. And for the front, again, I'm going to turn my brush. Instead of like this, it's going to be like this, and I'm going to line it up with the end of my brow here and just kind of feather that up. I really hope you guys can see this. This angle is not so easy. Okay, just like that. And again, you want to take your spoolie and just brush through them very thoroughly, because you don't want to move around the product too much. Just like that. Okay, and so for that part that I kind of went over a little bit, I'm going to show you how I clean that up. So I'm going to take this brush right here. This is like my concealer brush. It's really flat. As you can see, it's kind of tapered at the top. See? Just a little bit. Nothing too particular. You definitely want something small though. And I'm going to take my foundation that I use on my face, of course. And I'm just going to dip my brush into the cap, because as you can see, there's quite a bit of product in there. So I kind of just want to use that. And just clean it off on the edge. And what I'm going to do is use this brush to clean up that little part that I kind of messed up. And what this is also going to do is clean up your brows and make sure that they look very sharp or very what is the word that I'm looking for? Very put together, very structured. But you can obviously skip this step if you find that this is too much for you or you don't need it. Totally up to you. I'm just showing you all the steps that you can do to make your eyebrows look just that much more better. I don't do this all the time, just when I kind of when I mess it up, or if I really want my eyebrows to look on fleek, like crazy on fleek. But I don't do this every day. And I just line the top, not the bottom and not the front. And I use my foundation because I find that it blends a lot better into my skin. Whereas if I use a concealer, like, I don't know, it just looks too much, it starts to look cakey, and it just doesn't look natural like I want it to. And you definitely want to use just a little bit of this. Remember, this is just to clean up and make them look a little more sharp, more precise. Just like that. And that's pretty much it. I don't take any other extra steps in my brows. It's pretty simple. I do want to try the brow definer by Anastasia. That's a really good eyebrow product. But for now, that's pretty much how I like them. And I think they work for me really well. So let me know down below if you like how they look. If I should try any different products, please let me know, because eyebrows and concealer are definitely both my weak spots. I don't really know. Those two products definitely trump me when it comes to makeup. I'm still learning, of course. Everybody learns every day. So if you have any products that you'd like to recommend to me or anything like that, please let me know in a comment down below, or whatever. You can message me on any of my social media. All that's going to be linked down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry that I'm not wearing any other makeup, but I think I'll make up for it in the intro. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!